BRSCC Alfa Romeo Championship is in action this weekend on the Silverstone International Circuit for its penultimate round of the season. Grey skies, a threat of rain, but a big and varied grid set to entertain us over two 20-minute races this weekend. Let's take a look then at the grid for the first of those two races. It's the Power Trophy and modified cars as usual at the sharp end. Graham Seeger from Brian Shrub, row 1, with George Osborne and Dave Messenger sharing row 2. Then it's Mervyn Miller and Jamie Thwaites, with Paul Webster and Simon McPhee sharing the 4th row. Andy Inman and Ben Sharich rounding out the top 10. Then the Twin Spark Cup element of the race is headed by Tom Hill and Andrew Bourke, with Matt Daly and James Ford on row 2. Simon Cresswell and Stephen O'Brien are next ahead of Richard Ford and Kevin Gallagher at the back of the field. We're sharing the grid this weekend with the BRSCC's Porsche Championship, so even more variety for us to enjoy. But the focus for us is very much on the Alfa Romeos then that line up at the front of the grid. The red lights go on, they're out now, we're away and racing. Who gets the start from the front row? Well, it's Brian Shrub by the looks of it in the Alfa 33, the orange car that will head the field down into Abbey Corner for the first time. With George Osborne coming through to second position. Not a great start there from Graham Seeger in the GTV. He's down to about 5th. Old Jamie Thwaites is sideways, he's lost it through the first corner and thankfully is avoided by everybody. That could have been an awful lot bigger than it was. He spun right in front of the chasing pack. He's avoided by them, but they will all have got past him. And Jamie has an awful lot of work to do now to bring himself back into contention over the remainder of the 20-minute race. The rest of the field then all safely through and already changing around at the front of the field. George Osborne's got the lead now with Brian Shrub down to 3rd. Into second position goes Mervyn Miller from 5th on the grid. So halfway around the opening lap, the order bearing absolutely no resemblance to the way in which they lined up on the grid. Keep an eye though to Graham Seeger in the Alfa GTV, 4th place going down the hanger straight for the first time. That car was the quickest in qualifying by nearly a full second compared to Brian Shrub, who was second fastest. He should, in theory, have the pace and the performance to get through to the front of the field, but that car does sometimes come over all Alfa-ish and has been known to run into a couple of mechanical issues over the years. It's going quickly right now though. He's up the inside of Shrub. He's into 3rd place as they head through Vale and Club for the first time. Just like that, one lap is completed of the Silverstone International Circuit. There goes Dave Messenger, the number 79 Alfa 156. Mervyn Miller, though, moving up to challenge the race leader, George Osborne, as they head into Abbey Corner. The top 3 absolutely as one, and 3 more different cars you couldn't really hope to see here, could you? You've got George Osborne in the Alfa 75 leading the way, the 156 in second position of Mervyn Miller, who dives to the inside and takes the lead away into Village Corner. Nice move, runs a bit wide on the exit though. Gathers it together, he's got the lead, and now here comes the GTV, the low-slung sports car of the group, of Graham Seeger going right round the outside of George Osborne there through the link and onto the hanger straight, and now he opens up the taps, and that GTV should just be able to drive through. It's certainly been able to get into second place. We're on board with Mervyn Miller, who's already the 4th different leader we've had in a lap and a half of racing, and now Graham Seeger makes it 5. Fantastic stuff, and he's got himself through into the end of the hanger straight, but no, Mervyn Miller much later on the brakes sends the car into Stowe Corner with a lot more commitment and actually hangs on to the race lead for the time being. Nicely done there. While there is an issue, I'm afraid, for number 63, and that is Matt Daly within the Twin Spark part of the race, and Matt Daly in his Alfa Romeo 145 that had qualified 3rd quickest in the Twin Sparks, out of the race in the early stages with what looks like a mechanical gremlin of some sort. On for 3rd place now, Brian Shrub getting himself back ahead of George Osborne, so Osborne back down to 4th where he started, and now Graham Seeger uses the horsepower advantage of that GTV to move ahead of Mervyn Miller and take the lead away through Abbey Corner. It took him 2 laps to get back to the front, but he did get there, and now should be able to break clear. The GTV clearly not quite as good around the corners, but this is more of a power circuit than a handling circuit, generally speaking. So he should, now he's out in front and has been out in front for a few corners, should be able to build up that margin over the remainder of the race. But I'm not handing this trophy to him just yet. It's a competitive field we've got here this weekend. One of the biggest grids we've had in the Alfa Romeo Championship so far this season as well. And there is every possibility that someone else might be able to come through and challenge him before the race is over. But you can see him getting away now. Miller under renewed pressure now from Brian Shrub in the number 25 Alfa Romeo 33. Takes through Stowe. And again, 2 cars here with rather an age difference, really. The 70s 33, the 1.9 16 valve Alfa Romeo chasing down the Alfa 156, which is the kind of car which is fairly prolific in the Twin Spark Cup. That has been modified, hence why it's running not in the Twin Spark Cup this weekend, but in the modified class. And Mervyn Miller was 4th quickest in the modified class after qualifying. Top 3 cars then in the race overall. In fact, the top 4 are all modified cars. Mervyn Miller, as he tries to go after the race lead. You can see Graham Seeger, though, is getting away now. And now that he's broken clear of Miller, he shouldn't really have to worry too much about watching his mirrors, but there'll be quite a lot of traffic for them to deal with over the course of the 20 minutes. They will catch the back of the field and even encounter a couple of those Porsches. That's going to add an extra dimension to the race, no doubt. This battle for second, though, still going on. Brian Shrub chasing down this man, Mervyn Miller. We're on board with Mervyn again, going down the Hanger Straight underneath the circuit access bridge. That's the main route into the paddock and the infield complex here on the Silverstone International Circuit, based around the Silverstone wing that's, would you believe, is 10 years old now. It does not seem 10 years ago that this element of the, nearly 10 years anyway, that this element of the Silverstone circuit came into being. But the Silverstone wing has become an icon of British motorsport pretty quickly, it must be said. And the international circuit does produce good racing, variety, a bit more variety maybe than you see on the national circuit, which essentially is 3 long straights with a couple of hairpins. Here you've got some really technical sections. This first sector in particular, Abbey Corner, a daunting right-hander. You've really got to throw the cars in there, and Mervyn Miller's car working well, but then the more lightweight Alfa 33 of Brian Shrub is able to stick with him and definitely not being embarrassed by the much more modern car. Modern brakes though on 156, and so Mervyn is able to get into Village Corner still in front. Shrub, the 25 car, waiting for his moment. Turns through the link back onto the Hanger Straight, gets a better exit there. Does Shrub look carries a bit of a wider line coming onto the straight, and that means he's carried a few extra miles an hour down the back part of the circuit. Miller moves over to the inside to defend, which means that Shrub must be around here somewhere. In fact, they're side by side for second place now. And Brian Shrub, well, surely he's got the horsepower to get alongside, but has he got the braking capability? The answer is no, and so Mervyn Miller turns into Stowe Corner, still in this second position. Now that he's having to defend this second place, you can see Graham Seeger is getting ever further away in the distance. And that might be the last we see of Graham now for the time being. There is George Osborne, still in 4th position. Similar little battle going on here, really. The Alfa 75 going up toe-to-toe with another 156. That of number 79, Dave Messenger, who is the lead power trophy contender. David also an overall championship contender, needs some good points within his class to be able to beat Tom Hill to the championship this year. Tom, who's been one of the front runners and multiple former champion these days in the Alfa Romeo Championship, running in the Twin Spark Cup, but you score points based on your individual class positions, so all of the classes go head-to-head for the championship. And Dave Messenger and Tom Hill have both been prolific winners in their various classes. That's why they're the top 2 in the championship at this stage of the year, by quite some way actually. Mervyn Miller is the lead modified driver. He's under pressure now though once again for this second place, but as they get out onto the straight they're pretty even. Stevens, Brian Shrub tries to go from the outside to the inside line. There was a gap there, but he didn't quite have the impetus to carry himself alongside fully. So Brian Shrub still not able to get past Mervyn Miller. Applying the pressure though, asking all of the right questions of the Alfa Romeo 156 in front of him. One false move here from Mervyn, and you have to imagine Brian will go through. Brian will also be overtly aware of the fact that George Osborne is starting now to close in. You can see there the black 75 is a lot closer now to these two. In fact, they're almost, you could almost say it's a 3-way fight for second place. Now they're also starting to encounter some of the Class D Porsches, the 19.4s. And that now makes life doubly difficult really for Mervyn Miller, because not only is he trying to defend his second place in the race, but also trying to pick his way through some of the lap traffic. There aren't too many of those 19.4s at least, but they're probably going to catch them a couple of times over the course of the 20 minutes. And the inside of one of them goes the number 79 car. And, clean move made there by Dave Messenger. Romeo's though in qualifying were quicker than even the quickest of the Porsches, so we are focusing very much on the quicker cars here in this race. Mervyn Miller again moving defensively because Brian Shrub is there. Now, perfectly legal that defensive move down the Hanger Straight, but you can't then move back over again once you've committed to that inside line. You've sort of made your bed then. Miller has to pick which line he's going to overtake that 94 on. The horsepower advantage there is enough to carry him straight through on the run down through the Vale. Oh, locks up and runs a bit wide there though. That wasn't ideal. But, gets away with it. Still, Brian Shrub is denied them. The fastest lap in the race, you won't be surprised to hear, belongs to Graham Seeger, but this battle is keeping us thoroughly entertained here. Mervyn Miller is placing that 156 everywhere it needs to be, but this time it looks as though Shrub's got ahead of him. He's got his nose in front. He goes right around the outside at Abbey Corner. Brilliant overtake that. That took some real commitment, and he is now into P2, and a bit of a similar situation really to Graham Seeger. As long as he stays there for a few corners to build that gap, he should be okay. We know Miller's good on the brakes though, so if he can't escape immediately, there is a chance that Mervyn will come back at him. Brian Shrub three-wheels his way through the right-hander at the link, and now he hopes leaves Mervyn Miller to fend off George Osborne for the remainder of the race. Shrub getting away now to go down that back straight. Osborne with his lights ablaze, trying to just notify Mervyn Miller that he has every intention of trying to overtake him here. Tend to sit in fourth position. Stone corner again, back down into the braking zone at the bottom of the hill. One of the great things about this Alfa Romeo Championship is this wonderful variety of car, the age range, the performance range as well. We haven't seen much of the twin sparks yet in this race, but they are the slowest cars out there, but in the Alfa contingent at least, but they are wonderfully evenly matched. And we do get some great racing there. Tom Hill, though, I can tell you, is a reasonably comfortable class leader at the moment, and there for the second lap in succession, Mervyn Miller is overtaken around the outside into Abbey Corner. I wonder if maybe the brakes are starting to fade on that 156, because he was particularly good at under braking in the early stages, but now really seems to be struggling. Having said that, he goes back up the inside of Osborne into Village, and I think he might have just got that third place back, has he? Yes, he has, so proving me instantly wrong. First time that's happened. And Mervyn Miller is now back into a podium place. Does like that tight line, doesn't he, out of the link. It's back along the hanger straight now, though, with pressure renewed, I'm sure, by George Osborne. Well, actually, George has dropped back a bit there, maybe ran a bit wide when Mervyn came back up the inside of him through the right-hander at Village. Now let's try and regroup and close back in again if possible. To the braking zone again. Miller lives another day in third position. So George Osborne proving that that first corner Abbey is maybe where Miller is a little bit vulnerable, so if he can get close enough to have another go there in a few minutes' time, I'm sure he will. He's not going to be close enough on this lap though, so Mervyn Miller continues to hold on to that third position. Fourth for the number 34 car behind of George Osborne, who was third on the grid, remember. He actually out-qualified Mervyn Miller. Miller didn't have a great qualifying effort though, so he's been able to bounce back quite nicely in the race. Back straight, they're about to go again. Miller getting tighter and tighter out of that right-hander at the link. It's definitely not the textbook racing line, but I think the thought process is that he wants to try and get the steering wheel straightened as quickly as he can so that he can then deploy full power. The way that Brian Shrub's got away there, they're well and truly amongst the twin spark cars now. That's Richard Ford, the number 31 car, who's gained a few positions from where he started. I know that because he's ahead of some twin spark cars now, and they were all ahead of him on the grid pretty much at the start of the race. He was second from the back on the twin spark grid, Richard, but former class winner is Richard Ford, strong driver. But, was a little bit out of position for him, it must be said, after qualifying. Next car to go a lap down to the second place man is Simon Cresswell, the orange 156. And then the 147 just up the road. Nice to have the 147s competing with us again this weekend. Stephen O'Brien, that will be in the 26 car. In traffic, Miller has been caught by George Osborne again. Means that Osborne is now starting to think about overtaking once more, but everywhere he wants to go, there are other Alfa Romeos in the way now. This is making Mervyn Miller's life complicated, but it's not really helping George Osborne particularly, because there's now less available real estate for him to use to try and execute an overtake. Again, there down into the link, they both have to go up the inside of Richard Ford, and the tight line taken by Mervyn Miller lap by lap has to be taken by Osborne as well, because he couldn't run wide on the exit of the corner. So that would have meant running into the side of the twin spark car he was overtaking. So as they go down the hanger straight again. The gap goes back out between the two of them. Fascinating racing this though between the two cars. Something that you don't really see in one make racing all that often. We do have, though it is a one-make championship in theory, we have different models of Alfa Romeo out there. They all have different strengths and weaknesses. Some of them are better in a straight line, some better on the brakes, some better through the high-speed corners, and it generates some usually pretty interesting racing. Mervyn Miller still having to watch his mirrors here and didn't get a good run through the first part of club there. We know this next corner at Abbey is where he has been under pressure on previous laps. Is George Osborne going to be able to use this to his advantage? Forces Miller to defend, but they both have to go up the inside of Stephen O'Brien. So in the end, there's no way through. They still are in the same order as they head through Abbey, up the hill again towards the braking zone at Village, and Mervyn Miller moves over to cover. Outside goes George Osborne, qualifying 5th overall in the qualifying going on this morning. That was the 3rd of the Alphas, the 3rd of the modified cars as well. Mistake there from Miller, runs a bit wide, and this could be the best opportunity Osborne's had for a while. He'll carry more speed off the corner. I'm not convinced he's got quite the straight line speed advantage over Miller that we saw from Brian Shrub earlier on. And indeed, he falls back again now in a straight line. So Mervyn Miller can get away with taking a slightly strange line out of the link, because there's no way that Osborne's going to drive past him in a straight line down the Hanger Straight. That's what I mean, fascinating racing. They have to play to their strengths, they have to defend in the places where they may be struggling. Certainly in Miller's case, it seems to be through some of the more technical parts of the circuit. That 156 quite a bit heavier than the 75. And through these technical sections, through Village and Club, through Vale and Club, and then through Village and the link as well. Definitely the 75 has an edge, but every time he gets a run, there then seems to be a straight or a high-speed section that maybe favours Mervyn Miller a little bit more. Through the first corner again.
Just ahead of the black 75 rear-wheel drive car.
Very close indeed, this, as he defends the inside through Village. Now that will slow him down on the exit. Osborne will try and get the switch back, but it's quite a narrow part of circuit, this, by Silverstone standards anyway. Just isn't a way through. He goes around the outside now at the link and carries a lot more speed off the corner this time than Mervyn Miller. But then as Mervyn starts to pick up the traction, he picks up the speed and drives straight back ahead of him. Brilliant stuff there. Almost touching doors as they went down the Hanger Straight, but Mervyn Miller is back ahead. Now, can he outbrake George Osborne into Stowe Corner? Looks like he will. He's got the inside line covered too. But briefly, ever so briefly, George Osborne was in front of him there. He'll be getting a tad frustrated now, I think, because he knows that over the course of a lap, he's probably a little bit quicker, but it's very hard to overtake someone that's quicker than you in a straight line. You can carry all the speed in the world off the corner, but then if they just power straight back past you on the next straight, you feel pretty hopeless, really, if you're the George Osborne of the situation. Close again now as they come across the start-finish line. There goes Brian Shrub in amongst some of the leading twin spark traffic now. These drivers may be a little bit harder to overtake, but they are going a lap down, so they should, in theory, make life a little bit easier. Andrew Bork there, the orange and silver 86, just ahead of James Ford. And I think they're running second and third, respectively, in the twin spark class. Mervyn Miller also about to catch that group, but he's still in this third place, still not allowing George Osborne through. That's the gap between them. Osborne again carries more speed off the link, but Miller knows that he can take things relatively easy. Oh, real banging of doors this time. Now that was definitely contact. That was George Osborne saying, I'm coming through, you're not going to be able to block me this time. And that might have been enough, actually, because now as they go into Stowe Corner, they are still overlapping, and it should be Osborne that's maybe better on the brakes, but he's on the wrong side of the road. And so Miller hangs on once again. Osborne tries to carry the speed off Stowe Corner, which he might be able to do. There's a gap on the inside, and this time, maybe, no. Still Miller has it covered. Brilliant racing, this, and Mervyn Miller is making life extremely difficult for Osborne, but he's not really doing anything wrong. It's just frustrating for George Osborne that, try as he might, although he's coming through the corners better, he just can't drive alongside fully Mervyn Miller's car to execute the overtake. Andrew Bork and James Ford, though, are about to go a lap down to these two. Might this be the catalyst for an overtake to be executed and completed, crucially, by George Osborne? Into the closing stages, this is probably going to be the penultimate lap of the race, I would imagine. So let's see, it may even be the final lap, actually. We'll see how much time we've got left. Remember, Graham Seeger, though, is quite a long way ahead of this lot, so he should get that extra lap in. Oh, and there goes George Osborne all of a sudden on the inside into the link. Now, was that a problem for Mervyn Miller? The car is not picking up speed, and there's a problem for Mervyn Miller. What a shame. He was driving sublimely there to keep hold of third place from arguably the quicker car, but sadly something has failed there, and Mervyn Miller will probably not even get to the flag now. But George Osborne is able to inherit that third position. He will be happy. It's not really the way he'd have liked to have done it, I'm sure, but he knows that in motor racing, particularly, dare I say it, Alfa Romeo racing, reliability is one of the big keys to success, and Mervyn Miller is grinding to a painful halt now down the Hanger Straight. The checkered flag, though, has gone out for Graham Seeger. Graham Seeger wins the first race of the weekend here at Silverstone. The GTV victorious, despite having fallen down as low as 5th position after a slightly tardy start. Well, here's the result then. Seeger with the win from Shrub, Osborne, Messenger and Paul Webster the top 5. Simon McPhee, Jamie Thwaites after his first corner spin, and Ben Sharich in 8th. Tom Hill is in 9th position and wins the Twin Spark Cup. Not for the first time, he will extend his championship lead as a result from Andrew Bork in 2nd, James Ford 3rd, then Stephen O'Brien, Simon Cresswell, Richard Ford and Kevin Gallagher round out the 15 finishers.